Hello YouTube, this is Mary from Happy Coder. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to build a Twitch streamer web app, which is one of the intermediate front-end web development projects from FreeCodeCamp. To complete this project, I'll still be using jQuery and JavaScript as I did in the previous projects. In the project requirement, FreeCodeCamp provides us with an array of the Twitch.tv usernames of people who regularly stream. So I'll be working with these 8 channels in my web app. First, let's have a look at the finished product. It has 3 buttons: all, online, offline. When the page is loaded, the screen shows all 8 channels. Each has a logo, a channel name, and a hyperlink which takes the user to the channel by clicking on it, and the streaming status, online or offline. For the online channels, their current streaming contents are also shown here. You may have noticed that the top 2 lines show a message saying a certain channel doesn't exist. This is actually from the instruction in the user story for this project, which requires a placeholder notification if a streamer has closed their Twitch account or the account never existed. Now if we click on the online button, it returns only 2 channels that are currently streaming. And if we click on the offline button, it returns 6 offline channels. Click on the all button. It shows again all the 8 channels listed in the array and the 2 non-existing channels as well. Now we have an idea of what we will be building and what functionalities are required. Let's open up the Microsoft Visual Studio IDE and show you my code. Before we dive into my jQuery and JavaScript code, I just want to quickly show you my HTML and CSS structure, so you can have a better idea of what function I have declared and what ID or class I have created. Another thing is that I declared all my variables at the beginning of my JavaScript code section. All this housekeeping is both to make my workflow cleaner and avoid any confusion on your part. Upon completing this project, I have 2 major learning points I want to explain in details here. The first point, in order to loop through the array in jQuery, I recommend to use each function instead of for loop. Although for loop is said to be faster, performance is not really a big concern for this project with only 8 objects in the array, and each function is automatic local scoped, while for loop is not. You will have to declare them as local scoped, create a variable and assign the proper index of an object to that variable. Since we are already using jQuery library to build this project, it makes sense to use each function to loop. The each function can be used to iterate over any collection, whether it is an object or an array. In my code, I have created an array named channel list, which is used to contain the result of my each loop. This is important because the array values will be used as a part of the URL link in the first GET request. I've also assigned the value to the variable named channel name. This is because I will use this variable channel name in the second GET request instead of looping the array values again, which will result in mismatched channel infos. Now comes to my second learning point. The URL I'll be using for the API GetJSON call is a workaround provided by FreeCodeCamp instead of Twitch's official API URL. This way, we can get the account info without needing to sign up for an API key required by Twitch.tv. Here are the API responses. Note that the status info and the channel info are derived from 2 different API URL links, streams and channels. So I will be making 2 GET requests to obtain all the info I needed. And I recommend using an online JSON viewer for an easy visual reading of the API responses. As we can see on the screen, in the streams API responses, when the channel is offline, under the stream key, it returns null. This inspired me to use GetJSON from streams API first, to separate offline channels from online ones. I use an if statement to achieve this. In the if statement, once the condition, the value under the stream key equals to null, is met, I then make the second GET request to obtain the info of all the offline channels. Next, as you may have noticed, I use another if statement in order to identify the non-existing channels. The message returned by the server will be added to my HTML div tag directly using append method. For the existing offline channels, I also use the append method to display the channel info assigned to 3 variables. Displaying the online channels follow the same logic, while the streaming content is added using the 4th variable at the end of the HTML div tag. Lastly, I've declared 3 functions using show and hide to display channels with different statuses as the user clicks on different buttons, which achieves the effect I've shown you in the very beginning of this video. This wraps up today's video. Hope it's been informative. Please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. See you in my next video.